Hey guys, I'm RiggyRob and welcome back to another stream. As you can see on the screen, I have the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. So for anyone that missed it, last time we finished off Final Fantasy VII and I gave the channel update that Pimmsy is pregnant, so we are going to be going on hiatus in August 2025. So I'm going to try and squeeze as many short games as I can in until then. One of which is the Stanley Parable. So, for those that don't know, the Stanley Parable is kind of a strange meta game. In fact, I've already started the game up to try and check the settings, and I've started it up again for the stream, and it has changed the behavior that I was expecting it to do. So, yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. It's like a meme game, or it's like a meta game. Basically, it's a first-person walking simulator that is narrated by someone. But then you can choose not to do what the narrator says, and that affects the outcomes of what you can do. But other than that, I don't really know too much about it. I think it might be vaguely Half-Life related. I don't know. The Stanley Parable itself is a very short game. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe version is the console release of it, and that makes it a little bit longer, but not too much longer. It's like 6 hours at most, and that's if you're trying to do everything. So yeah, let's get started. And as you can imagine, because I've not been able to start the game up, I don't know what the audio is like. Hopefully things are okay. Again, I can probably fix things after the fact. But yes, the behavior it has is it asks you for the time. I set the time, and then it went into a menu screen, which is kind of what I expected. And then it'll ask the same thing now, and it will change slightly. So it's in the kind of vein of Undertale, Deltarune, where it's messing around with the conventions of a video game. And again, this is the console version of it. Was originally just a PC only game to begin with. So it says, please enter the current time. Well, we are in fact in the UK, and I don't see any reason not to put the actual time in. So let's go ahead and set it for this time. Confirm. There we go. Hang on. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up the game. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want. Even if it's not the correct time, you've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. So yeah, you can kind of tell the tone that the game is trying to go for. But we'll see. So, I think initially you can follow what the... Oh, we've got a bit of recursion going. Nice. You can follow what the narrator is doing, and that's like the quickest way to finish the game. It's like the Far Cry 4 thing of if you stay sat at the table for whatever, however long it is, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you actually get what is considered the good ending. But yeah, so we're in the menu screen now. You are playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. So we have begin the game, obviously. The settings that I try to do. There's a lot of interesting gameplay. I mean, it's just camera stuff, really. But we do want subtitles, and we do want them to be large. We'll see very large, because why not? There is no reason not to have large subtitles if you can choose it. I don't think I need the reticle. I think that's just to kind of help you with direction. And we might as well have the achievement pop-ups, because they might be quite funny. Translation labels. Enables translated labels on top of in-world text. I don't know whether that means that there's going to be foreign language stuff in this. I'll probably turn it on, unless it's going to be... Because there was a setting similar in Control, where you could set the label to be... You know, it helps you with the overall text, but... I don't know. Gameplay critical colors. Nah, I'll turn that off for now. Content warnings, an option to skip sections of the game that deal with suicide, trauma, and mental health issues. Okay, well, it's nice that they put that in there. Again, I don't actually know if they have those content warnings before you buy the game, but at least it's in the game. A low dexterity mode reduces difficulty for time-sensitive inputs and precision platforming. Okay, that's fine. So there is a bit of platforming to this then. Auto walk. I think that's fine. So I can reset the settings. Alright, audio. Again, difficult to tell how the audio is because it's very quiet right now. Hopefully this is all fine. The narrator is probably the most important thing. Being able to hear the narrator is the biggest thing. And then simplified controls. So we have crouch, move, pause, interact, and look. And that's it. That's all it is. There's not even a jump button actually. And what's the... Oh, simplified controls means everything is interact. Yeah. So interactions don't require specific buttons. Okay. Yeah, no jump button. Okay. And achievements. So, I do not have any achievements. Test achievement, please ignore. Replace this. Get the first achievement for getting any of the other achievements as your first. You can beat the game, quit the game, and start again. Because I don't have this because I hadn't actually started the game. You can't jump. No, seriously, we disabled it. Commitment. Play the Stanley Parable for the entire duration of a Tuesday. Now, does that mean just have the game open on a Tuesday? I mean, today is not a Tuesday. Click on the door 435 times. I mean, that's easy enough to do. Just a bunch of 8s, sure. Speedrun. Complete the Stanley Parable in under 4 minutes and 22 seconds, not including load times. Well, I'm probably not going to do that. I don't think I need to speedrun the game. Settings World Champion. Set all setting sliders in the menu to all the available numbers. Now, does that mean you have to set it to 1 of 100, then 2 of 100, then 3 of 100? Or is it just setting everything to 100? And then this is the key one. This is the funniest achievement that there is. Super Go Outside. Don't play the Stanley Parable for 10 years. I think the original was don't play it for 5 years. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Stanley Parable came out on PC in 2017. So when the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe came out, that was 5 years after the game was originally released. So people were able to get that achievement. This one, Super Go Outside, is not currently possible because the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe was released in 2022. So it will take until 2032 for anyone to be able to get this legitimately, of course. But yeah, so there's a few achievements there. We'll get some, we won't get others, and that's fine. But yeah, that's the tone that this game is going for. So, let's begin the game. The end is never the end. The end is never the end. Press A.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Yeah.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Ooh.
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, so now we have control. I'm not touching any buttons. I'm kind of interested to see how long it takes for the narrator to recognize I'm not moving, if indeed that is a thing that the game can do. Also, the feeling of complete isolation, very different in a pre-COVID world compared to the post-COVID world where the Ultra Deluxe edition of the game was released in. Now, I have a feeling that if the game was going to recognize that I have not moved and was not planning to move, it would have done it within the, the 30 seconds that I've been explaining this game. But we'll give it a little bit longer just to see. I have a feeling the way the narrator works is it'll tell you an instruction, which is what Stanley is obviously supposed to follow, and then as soon as you deviate from that, in a recognizable you are taking a different action rather than inaction, then the narrator will start doing other things. But that kind of depends on what the game can recognize as an action, right? So let's see. I am Stanley. And that is not the time. Okay? So it doesn't affect the in-game clocks. That's fine. Okay, so interact was A. And there is nothing to interact with currently. In fact, this may be where having the reticle helps, because otherwise it's hard to say where you're pointing it at. That's fine. So, another thing is I don't know whether there's reflections in this. I mean, we've seen Stanley, right? But we don't know...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
We don't know.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Memo, okay. I mean, yeah, there's things. Okay, so it's going to be...
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
It's going to be on certain triggers, like stepping over a threshold or seeing something else. But, let's see, 4:30. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
See, I was also wondering whether the game can recognize up and down as a nod and side to side as a shake of the head. Doesn't seem like it can. It seems like it has to be an input. Hello, Adrian. I've joined. You just joined. I love this game. Are you recording? I am recording. We are playing the Switch version of the game, though. This is not the PC version. And yeah, that's the other thing. There are certain games, kind of like Doki Doki Literature Club, which work differently depending on if you're playing the PC versus the console, right? And that can be like a, oh, we're going to have a look inside your files kind of situation. Not the best thing when you're actually live streaming playing the game. But that is something that I will have to find out as we play the game, so...
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
50 clicks, okay. Alright, let's get our achievement, although this does feel a bit Skinnerbox-ish. And it's kind of like a, how quickly can you do 50 clicks? You know, how many seconds does it take?
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Where is 417? That's 437. And we're going to step over a threshold there. Let's see. So I can't go back into my room. No. And then, what happens if I continue? Another 50? Another 100? See, the thing is that the game has already recognized that I'm trying to do this just for the achievement, and there's no real purpose to being in room 430, right? But the game also has to be like, yeah, we understand that there'll be some people... If you're playing this on PC, for example, you could just set a macro to be like, click the entire time, turbo boost the button, right? So yeah, that kind of thing isn't going to work, which is why they have things like the achievement of don't play for 10 years. Like, you literally have to not play the game. There is no other way to get that achievement. And it didn't seem like however many clicks I did for 430 mattered. So, to 417 then. It's a nice little mountain. Alright. Also, how many places actually have these many numbers on the doors, you know? I feel like at a certain point it's just a waste of paint to say, yeah, this one's 437, that one's 430, you know, just... Surely you just be like, sure, there's some doors, just choose whichever one you want. But yeah. You know what, let's see, what does having... Ooh, begin the game again. What does having the reticle on actually do? Okay, that's probably a little bit better actually, because even though it's not the biggest dot, it does give you more of a sense of, yes, this is exactly the thing you are going to interact with. So I'm fine with keeping that dot on. But yeah. Oh, hang on. 450. Where's 417? Because this is 420. And interacting does not mean picking up anything. Just try the door a couple of times. Alright, let's see. Yeah, the whole place is empty. Like, in some workplaces, having an empty office to yourself, an entire building to yourself, that would be the dream. I hate Mondays. Are we seeing Garfield somewhere or what? Right, okay. Ooh, interesting. What about this one? Right, this is 417, right? So, is it 20 clicks?
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437? Why 437? Is there a rhyme to the reason? Reason to the rhyme? Where's 437? There's going to be a point about, oh, you're just following these instructions because you want the achievement, huh? It's like, well, I mean, yeah, kinda.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415. I didn't see 415, actually. I do like how smooth the game is, because there is no reason for it to not run at, 60 FPS, but I did have my doubts about whether the Switch would be able to do it, but it seems like it can. So, maybe a bit of slowdown in some places. That's 416. 415.
Now, back to door number 437.
Run down the hallway, Stanley!
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
Is this the copy machine?
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
417.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Climb? Since when was that a thing? Oh.
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Aye, aye, Captain.
We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
Run, Stanley! Run! I assume it's this one he's referring to.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430! Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
Well, I mean, the point of it was to do what the game wanted me to. And in fact, does that even work if you haven't opened the achievement menu? Because in theory, you wouldn't know how many clicks it takes to get that for 430. I imagine the audio just plays whatever. Oh, that's what's going on. It's steps. Well, kind of. Yeah. But there is no jump button in this game. So it's all going to be strange staircases. Or ladders, I guess. But yeah, let's carry on then, shall we? Oh. Oh, yeah. That's the other thing. I don't actually know... You know what? I wonder whether this is part of the inspiration for the backrooms came from.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right. So this is the start where you can not follow the instructions to play the rest of the game. But I'm kind of interested to see what the end of the game is when you follow the instructions. 413. I suppose I'll have to check every single door to see whether it works or not. But we'll see. Oh! It does work.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Maybe. Do not alter without consulting the whiteboard manager. Alright, we've got a meeting schedule. What's that? Cabal planning? That's not Kanban planning, is it? Anyway, so they have weekly targets again. Marketing Mondays. They have Group 40X, 45X. Termination Tuesdays. I imagine that's a thing in America. Office efficiency, legal. More group stuff. IT department, we're broke Wednesday. Financial panic meeting, boss inspection. 8-bird. Mergers, ideas and development. Pre-review of weekly reviews. Weekly review. Something floor 5 meeting. I do kind of wish the game was a bit more high resolution. Again, I was concerned about the Switch not running at 60 FPS, but I'd like this text to be clearer, thank you. But I guess not. What to do about 432? Don't tell 432 about the meeting. And then there's an office party at 4 o'clock on Friday. Okay. Well, that's a pretty standard corporate meeting. Ooh. Interesting. Alright, we'll go over here. Targets. Push for funding of R&D of new coffee machine. Standard graphs 40x wide. Not cost efficient. The future was yesterday. The tomorrow is now. Tomorrow. Complete today's unfinished agenda items. Write next day's agenda. Reflect. Hire someone to synergize papers. Synergize papers. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy. Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets on the topic of something's been rubbed out. Also, employee 417. Okay, so Jim? What? Hello? There's another person? So, we assume that Stanley is employee 427, but who's Jim? Also, rest in peace, Franz. So they do have names. It's not just a faceless corporation where nobody knows who you are. Oh, I get what's going on. Right. The game doesn't have a jump button. It's simulating climbing by doing a push onto like chairs and things like that. Yeah, okay. It's not great, but it is there. TPS reports. This page contains no information. Synergizing of core global value paradigms 2012 to 20 whatever. Let's see. There's not a... Oh, there is a zoom in. Okay, well that might help with things actually. Oh, it's not a zoom in, it's a crouch. Okay. Oh, hang on. So the projector's been going the entire time, I guess. And I've just not been looking. Bi-quarterly post-review review. We need... something reviews? 402 and 405 want to get rid of the death sport portion in the primary review schedule. But I think that's a stupid idea. More water coolers. More water cooler heaters. Charts need to be more hip to appeal to teenage demographic. Find teenagers to put in teenage demographic. Big net? Some sort of child trap? Whoa. You don't want to say a child trap. Let's be honest. Teenagers, small slice. Size of demographic, could be a big chunk. A lot of percentage. Space between the teenagers. Throw something in the ideas bin. And then... Yeah, this text is not the greatest in terms of resolution. No more bins / trash cans, renaming the ideas bin, firing of MG? Me? Something like that. Alright. What do people want? Things! Something that's been crossed out. I'm not sure what that is. Violet James, you are fired. Money? More money. Things, but with money to buy more things? Graphs? Graphs about things and money. We have our new product. And then business letters. Facts. The stock market is somewhere here. Coloured in segment. Pie. Stripes. Requires more secondary research. Target demographic. Teenagers. What is hot? Profits, 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 profits. And there's one that's misspelled. Alright. Let's see. I'll have a look at the presentation in a minute. But to do, synergize core value expenditures, shift global market parade, monetize free to play. Yeah, because people have struggled doing that. And then some quarterly pie chart profits. Alright. Okay. Let's see what we have here on the presentation. Number of slides on the slide. Charts, slides, charts and slides. Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information. We've got a market report, we've got more pie charts. Rate of increase in graphs per slide. Ooh, nice. Please, no more charts, please, I'm begging, stop! The Boss Appreciation Minute. On your Boss Appreciation Minute worksheet, circle the top 20 things you love most about your boss. Fill out in triplicate and return to your Boss Appreciation Specialist. Solving interpersonal conflict. If you ever find yourself in a conflict with another diligent employee, like yourself, but more inclined toward conflict, unless you're the kind of person who initiates conflict, why did we hire you? I can't read it all. What are your dreams for the future? Nature, success, transcend, plant life, mitosis, clear skin, spring break, metamorphosis, comatose, pollution, hope. Tits for not getting fired. Talk less. Do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day, with no expectation of promotion or recognition. Don't get fired. No. How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive-aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some beveling on the text. This will ensure a calm and productive work environment. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Yeah. Solid motto. And then we'll go back to the slides. Okay. I did not read one for one of them, but that's fine. Let's go up to the boss's office. Wherever that may be.